Annapurna has come back down saying it was the biggest, greatest climb of their time. So I know I am going to try to climb the hardest route I ever tried in the Himalayas or anywhere else. So it means like I wouldn't say the end of my career, but like the ultimate goal or something like that probably. In terms of difficulty and in terms of commitment and exposure, we really have to be perfectly in every. We have to find the right moment. We have to be physically perfect, mentally absolutely tuned, and then we might find a moment, maybe in the beginning of May or maybe in the end, to just dance to that reach, to the summit of Annapurna. It will be probably the most difficult climb I have ever done, and maybe even without reaching the summit, it would still be the hardest, the toughest climb I ever did. I think we have a pretty good team, you know. I did know Horia very well, obviously, because we have been climbing in the last 4 years together. We have done several expeditions. We climbed K2 together, and I know Horia is very, very reliable, and he's very enthusiastic, so that's great on that side. I did know a bit less Don, but I like him very much. He's very, very serious about his climbing, very, very professional, and he knows what he's doing here, and that's the kind of partner I wanted here. It has to be somebody who is absolutely focused and absolutely motivated on the goal, because there is 4,000 meters from here to the top of Annapurna, and there will be 4,000 reasons to turn back before we get there. So to avoid that turning back, you have to really have a partner who is dead set on summiting. So I think Don is that one. So we will see. I think we are a good partnership, and I think seriously it's not the last time we will climb together. Usually when I have a goal so big as this one, I try to divide it in several parts, yeah. So like approach march, or getting to the wall, and then the reach, the summit, then the coming down. I think we pretty much feel the same, the three of us, and we think that the wall is the key that gives us access to the reach, but then we will have to fight for several days in a zone that there is no room for mistake, like above 7,500 meters, which is 25,000 feet. We will be there for 3 or 4 days, and that's the key, obviously, of our climb. So the thing is how to get there in the best physical and mental shape. For that, we will probably have to fix ropes on the wall, which is something I haven't been doing lately. I have climbed in the last years Shishapangma, Manaslu, and Dhaulagiri, always without the use of fixed ropes, of course without the use of oxygen or of high altitude porters. But this time maybe we have to fix a bit of rope just to give us a chance of retreat in case we get stuck in bad weather or in bad health up there on the ridge. So once we have the wall more or less fixed, then it's time for light, fast, let's call it semi-alpine style. So I think it's a good compromise in between absolutely bold, very risky ascent, and some kind of heavy expedition style, which we all three dislike. Well, to me, the Himalayas are synonymous of freedom, and climbing is basically about being free. And in my scale of values, money will be the last one, and it's good because as a Himalayan climber, you will never make a lot of money, but you do get a lot of freedom. You know, we are free to decide, and our life is reduced to the simple things, and this is why we do it. In each journey here, each journey to the Himalayas, we come back home feeling reborn. It's like having another chance in your life. So every trip is very much worth by itself, and is very rewarding, and plus allows a lot of introspection. We are very free to look inside ourselves. So I think after you have been climbing for so many years, after you have been on so many summits, you really have to push the bar a bit higher, or else you will not get the knowledge of yourself that you are looking for. So I think Annapurna will be a good window for this. Well, yeah, I mean, I was injured last year, so I could not train during last year as much as I would have liked from an aerobic point of view. But my injury, who was a knee injury, allowed me to rock climb. So I did actually lots of rock climbing last year, which was many years since I didn't do it. And during the last winter I have put my focus on ice climbing. So technically I think I am at my peak now. And aerobically I also did a lot of training as usual. So I think I'm very much fit for the climb. It's in the Himalayas, yeah, you have to have that. You have to have the physical shape, of course, but then it all depends on your mind. So if the motivation is right, if the goal and yourself can become one, then we will be able to at least try it, at least give it a good try. What you have to do basically is avoid the couch at home, avoid the television, avoid the internet, avoid the heating systems, the cars, the technology, all the things that we surround ourselves in our Western world, and which are completely clouding our relationship with nature. Yeah? When I see my Russian friends climbing, they are absolutely wild, and they don't complain never about the cold, about the bad weather, because this is what the Himalayas are like. If you come to the Himalayas, you cannot complain if it is snowing or if it is cold. It is like this. This is the way it is. This is what we are looking for. So basically, from a spiritual point of view, I try to avoid as much television as possible, as much of the Western culture that surrounds us with comfort, with securities, with money, and that's the way to do it. I don't practice any meditation or yoga, but I think it may work for others, not for me. But what I do is just move my ass out of the couch as much as I can. Well, I think alpinism is traveling in the same direction as society. So our Western society is all the time more interested in money, in immediate success, in things like that, and that's the way alpinism goes. So that's why there will be maybe 800 people this spring in Everest, and there will be probably 500 or 600 summits, and everybody will come home happily. You know, they will have used oxygen, they will have used Sherpas, they will have used all the fixed ropes in the world, and they will have the success, and that's what they want. So that's what our Western world asks for. You know, they ask for this kind of success. I think there will be always a bunch of people. Maybe in the high Himalayas is a group of 30 climbers who have, I would say, visionaries. You know, who dream of always looking for their own limits and pushing them little by little. And if it's not too much to ask, I would like to be part of this group. You know, it's not a sect or it's not an elitist band. It's just a bunch of people who share the same passion and who travel and climb with imagination and with fair means, which for me is basic. You know, it's very important to make the difference in between what is real alpinism and what Reinhold Messner calls resort alpinism, in which the piste is prepared by others and then you just have to jump on the lift and ski down comfortably. So comfort and these things will never be good partners for real adventure or real alpinism.